Well, market up 300, NASDAQ up 96, S&P up 40. Got a chance to watch Janet for about 45 minutes. She is measured and calculated, but yep, I'm back in Utah. Yep, here comes the inversion layer. Not like in beautiful San Francisco. Anyway, back here in Utah with the inversion layer, and but got to do some market commentary, okay? Insane, you know, seeing oil hit 53 the other day, and I want to thank my subs. You know, I start reading comments. It's like, hey, thanks MOT or Carolyn Miller. MOT, stop by Roseville and tell me something. Carolyn, I had to get over the mountains. That's why I didn't do it. You know, seeing Sparks in San Francisco. I had a good workout last night. But, you know, it is a long-term thing. So when I started, you know, doing these videos out of frustration that I didn't have too many people to talk to, and then the collapse happened there in 2007. And so I'm just thankful for the subs that kind of encouraged me to post. Thanks, you guys. Because it is just insane. I mean, to think that a private central bank, and they got Janet there, and she's like, and the wimps that were asking her questions. The best looking guy, kind of a studly looking guy, asked a good question towards the end. The other are just such wimpy questions. And just to watch everybody like, what's going to happen? It's like, you know what? These people really think she controls the economy. And I watched Bill Gross 2 days ago, and then the price of gold go down because Bill talking deflation. But if you really think about it, and everybody's going to think about it in their own way, they're going to think of their own charts and formula. And I know I'm not a technical guy. I wish I, you know, in some ways I wish I was more, but I'm not. I'm not a chart guy. I'm just here telling you what Man of Truth thinks, whether I'm in Utah, Arizona, or San Francisco. But I just got to say this is, you know, people are all looking at this data, and I guess Jim Rickards, that guy, watch his video. He's got one video, and then I'm going to, you know, read his book, Death of the Currencies or whatever. I've got Currency Wars. But everybody is looking at data. But when you think about it, and 700 trillion in derivatives. Some of you, you know, you listen to Alex Jones, and he'll throw stuff out there. Some people will listen to Joe Scales, and he'll throw stuff out there. But you get a guy like Rickards. That guy, from my perspective, knows the financial markets. The other two guys are good, but Skousen doesn't understand the financial markets like Rickards does, and Alex doesn't, and I don't. The guy, he's been immersed. I mean, to be the architect of so many things and be there, and the charts he shows, it's just, I mean, you think about the stimulus. I mean, he had one chart where that, you know, when the government put in a dollar stimulus, it would, like, you know, create $2.50 of economic activity called velocity. And now he's saying if the government puts in $1 of stimulus, it's like 3 cents. Like, there's no velocity. Money's not, and he did a good job of explaining it. You know, somebody buys a meal, they tip the waiter goes home, and then somebody takes a cab, and that's velocity of money. It gets spent over and over, like the same money. But when people like take their money and put it in the bank because they're afraid that things are going to be bad, then that's no velocity. Now, the velocity of money in Russia is high right now, because if you think about it, I used to live in Argentina, okay? So, down in Argentina, you get your monthly bill in a month. You get let's say, we used to get, I don't know, $100 a month on my mission down there. And, you know, and you get, let's say, $100 worth of pesos. Well, by the end of the month, that $100, you know, the purchasing power had gone down to $90 if you didn't spend it right away, if you're holding it in, like, pesos. So, like in Russia, I mean, if you wanted to buy something on last week, you know, let's say you wanted to buy an iPhone for $600. Well, the iPhone was going to, you know, needed to be priced like at $1,000 just a few days later. That's why Apple, and I'm watching this, is very interesting because you guys know I'm an Apple fan, and girls, is Apple shut down their stores and their websites. You can't buy Apple stuff officially now in Russia. And that's what an unstable currency does. And that's how it is. That's the reality. And the big question is when will the dollar collapse? You know, it's crazy how it's pumped up. I mean, that's why I've kind of had to chill for a year or two and not make too much commentary. It's like, WTF, what's going on here? Can you believe it? It's insanity. A private bank just printing trillions, and Obama just signs a $1.1 trillion budget, and then buying back trillions of dollars worth of debt, and the Federal Reserve buying it, and then Rickards talks about like some secret buyers out of Belgium buying, U.S. long-term debt as China and Russia are dumping it. And you're kind of watching all this stuff, and you're like, wow. So you can stick to just the financial markets, but as you know, I like to try to integrate scriptures with it. So I'm trying to settle down, read everything, figure it out, and make my commentary. Have I been wrong? Yeah. I didn't think it would last this long. But as Ricard says, and I kind of like hearing people, because I think like this guy, and I see that he sees a lot of things that I see. With the tremendous, his background is pretty impressive. But anyway, worked for the CIA, so you got a question, what's he doing now talking about all this? But this kind of stimulus to keep things going. He said we were already in a depression, and I said that 5-6 years ago. We already are. But just think, if you were the central bank and you're a Rothschild or, one of these guys from the Morgan family or something, and they said, hey, Brent, here's $1 billion to spend right here in South Jordan. Spend that. And somebody else, hey, Provo, let's spend like $5 billion here. You're going to keep this economy going artificially. It's a bubble. And it just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And boy, will it collapse. So the question is when? Ricards is talking about warning people about the next 6 months. I'm going to watch things, and I feel kind of more in tune and centered. I'm going to make more videos here, but I just kind of watch the price of oil go like this, and the ruble go like that, and then Soc Gen, out of France, I'm watching that. It's hard not to watch CNBC Europe now. Got a TV hooked up and watch some of that, Bloomberg, and people's take on all this stuff. And once again, God lives, and I don't think he's pro-central bank. I know he isn't. But you'd think with everybody on the planet now that they're pro-central bank. And I'm going to watch more YouTube videos. I'm glad YouTube's still going. I'll post some things that are probably a little more organized, but kind of like I thought years ago, they're going to go to SDRs, then we'll have a one world currency, one world bank, boom, boom, boom. So plan crisis and try to figure it out. A lot of people haven't figured out. But if you want to really have it figured out, you have to integrate the second coming of Jesus Christ and the wars and destructions, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So I'm going to be doing that right now. I'm watching and thinking, and I just want to thank my subs. I mean, the people in California, even Slow Motion. I know I don't agree with her on everything, but I got people all over the world, and they'll make a little comment, whether it's Happy Thanksgiving MOT or this or that. But I really appreciate you folks, because I try to talk to people, it's like, you're crazy. Yeah, you feel like you're crazy. If you accept reality, you're crazy. But if you just, take the Prozac and check out, you're good to go. But I appreciate you folks that aren't doing that, and that you're into reality and seeing what's going on, and you want to restart civilization after PNAC's goals of 90% liquidation take place. God bless, rock on, and I really appreciate those great subs out there. Thanks. Let's watch the markets. Anyway, wow. More commentary to come. Adios, amigos. Ciao.